Back in a unfortunately familiar spot. I addressed the nation of Minifans again. I didn't do so. I think last time we went through this, I did Mike the Minifans that night. I figured this time let the shows kind of sit on their own for a couple days. Let everyone enjoy the Sacco shows. If you haven't already, I assume if you're listening to this, you certainly have. But if you haven't already, check out the awesome weekend in Sacco, and then I would address you guys and try to give you an update. Unfortunately, I don't know a lot. If you somehow stumbled upon this show without having a Twitter or knowing what's going on already, Kirk's going to be out for a while. He's once again dealing with suicidal thoughts and depression. And he says it's going to be longer this time, unfortunately. Last time he came back a lot quicker than expected, maybe too quick. I don't know. I don't know if the two situations are even related, but he's going to be out for a bit, and we'll get to your calls in a minute. But I guess I would just, I think people want an update, so I'll lay out the scenario and give my thoughts before we get to you guys. So we're leaving the show Sunday night, and while we're on our way home, Kirk just texts me and Steve and says something to the effect of, great job, we pulled it off. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. I noticed nothing during the shows. People always ask, did you notice anything? Was there a sign? I think it's pretty much been covered. And Jerry Callahan did a good job kind of breaking that down. I'll get to that in a minute as well. But it's pretty much been established. No one, everyone that saw him, no one thought there was anything wrong. I don't think. He did an unbelievable job. I don't know that I'd be able to pull off. Certainly I wouldn't be able to pull off the types of shows he did. But I mean, even masking, you can pretend to be in a certain mood on stage or on camera or in front of the microphone. But to interact with just the sheer amount of people that he did, especially for a kind of introverted guy, the way Kirk seems to be, that's a massive achievement on its own. To be out there, shaking hands and kissing babies and taking pictures and all that, it's honestly astonishing. I don't know how he was able to pull it off without anyone knowing, really. And you guys can ask Steve. I'm sure Steve's going to do something at some point where he can tell you maybe he noticed a little more than I did. Steve and Kirk will communicate off air more than me and Kirk. But Jerry even said that when they were on the phone, they were talking on Sunday, and Kirk seemed happy and everything was going great. Given that text message, Kirk doesn't usually text us and say, "Hey, great show," or anything like that. So based on him texting us that night, it seemed like he was satisfied with how everything went. And then, the next thing we got was a text that morning saying that early that morning, he was dealing with suicidal thoughts. And he says the worst, I believe he said the worst it's ever been, or the worst it's been in a long time, which is scary, especially considering when you hear, I always think of the podcast he did for that radio.com show where he talks about hearing voices. And he kind of couldn't escape these voices he was hearing. And it wasn't his voice. It was strange voices he was hearing. And that scared me because it's something I've never dealt with. So a lot of people ask what's going on. Is the show good for him? Is the show bad for him? And the answer is I have no fucking idea. I'm certainly not the guy who Kirk would want speaking for him. Unfortunately, I'm the guy you're stuck with. But I have no insight into Kirk's mental state. I don't think really any of us do. The tough thing is, here's what I can relate to, is I've had thoughts. I've been in dark places since I was probably 15, 16 years old and thought about suicide. And that's, it's something I turn to a lot. And it's something I've talked about a lot in therapy lately, which I can thank Kirk for pushing me to do that, by the way. But nonetheless, that's something I can relate to. And a lot of that comes from insecurities and self-doubt and real life failures. Basically, everything you guys think of me is shit that I say to myself times a million. So that part I can relate to. And even a guy as confident as Kirk deals with stuff like that. And you got to remember, you look at how with what pinpoint accuracy Kirk can rip someone apart, whether it's me and Steve or K Marco or Ellie or whoever he's going after. He's able to find these insecurities and shortcomings in people. So imagine what he does to himself. He knows himself better than anybody. So I can only imagine. Maybe I'm wrong in that. I don't know the process he goes through, but I can only imagine a guy with the critical thinking and a guy who looks for answers the way Kirk does. I can only imagine that's a fucking nightmare to be. Luckily, I'm blessed with not being particularly smart. I think if I saw clearly, ironically, if I could see clearly enough the mess of a human being I am and really get down into the weeds and talk about it, I'd be a lot more depressed than I am. Kirk suffers from being incredibly intelligent and seeing everything and being very observant, and that can be torturous. The part I can't relate to, and the part that's even more scary, is I just don't know what element of it is just programmed in all the time. People ask, is the show good for him? Is the show bad for him? There could be elements of both, but unfortunately, there may just be a chemical fucking thing that he's gonna have to deal with for the rest of his life. And no matter how many shows he does or does not do, how much time he takes off, that might be something he unfortunately has to deal with for the rest of his life. And hopefully, and I think the goal anytime you go into treatment, whether it's inpatient, outpatient therapy, go to the emergency room, whatever, the goal is you're going to talk to enough people that eventually someone may find the solution. The problem with something as fucked up as mental illness is there just isn't a solution. There's no clear-cut answers. There are things that can seemingly go away for months and then just creep back. I did not notice anything. Like I said, I did not notice anything at the Sacco shows. When we came back from vacation, he seemed on edge a little bit. But I don't know what that means. I don't know if I'm supposed to call that out on the show. I don't think so, because Kirk said on the show before, well, do you want me happy or do you want me going after people? Do you want me doing what I do and entertaining people? Also, my personal belief, and maybe this is wrong of me, but my personal belief is he doesn't want to vent to me. I'm not the guy he's going to, well, Mike, let's talk for a few hours about my troubles. He would go to his family first, his doctors, his friends. A long list before he gets to me. So, I said it all last time, but Kirk's done an unbelievable amount for me in putting up with a lot of my bullshit, in giving me an unbelievable opportunity, giving me a lot of freedom, giving me some help and guidance, pulling me out of that shithole of Entercom and giving me a real life. He's been unbelievable to me. I'm a person that certainly can't articulate that in text in a non-douchey way, but I hope he knows that, and I think he really does. And that's the motherfucker about all this, is the guy had a cult of people praising him and telling him how great he is, and he knows that, and he loves that and appreciates that. But you can have 1,000 people telling you how great you are, and unfortunately, the catch of this thing is that little nugget in the back of your mind is never going to leave you, and you never know when it's going to creep up. I think Kirk will eventually be back and give you a little more insight into what exactly that is. It's certainly something I'm not qualified to speak on, especially when it's coming from him. I don't think he wants me speaking on that. But before I get to your calls, I just wanted to address one other thing, and that is that I think Jerry actually did a great job, and I was happy Jerry spent the majority of his podcast yesterday commenting on Kirk. And he did a very good job. He gave some insight into, how Kirk was interacting with him. Because it's easy to say, I'm not friends with Kirk. We do a show together every day. We joke around, but we're not buddies. We don't go out to dinner or golf together. He's genuinely very good friends with Jerry. So you think maybe he's different around Jerry than he is with me. Jerry said the same thing. Sounded great on the phone. Had no idea that he was going through that shit. Or about to go, either just went through that shit or is about to go through that shit, however it happened. You could not tell. He was playing with his kids and all that. And you can say, well, I remember Matt from Providence said this to me. Hey, you got people that like it. You're on a great podcast. And I understand what Matt was trying to say. And a lot of people say that. They could say, Kirk, you got a shit ton of money. You got a great family. You got a huge audience that loves you. You're doing very well for yourself. You're very successful. Why do you have these thoughts? That's just not what it is, unfortunately. It's a combination of things. It's maybe you look for the negative in every situation, or maybe it's just a fucking miserable chemical imbalance that we cannot figure out and that you're stuck with for a long period of time, unfortunately. But so Jerry discussed this on the show, and I think Jerry said a lot of great things, but I think Dave Cullinane really has his finger on the emotional pulse of America when you talk about an issue like mental health. So we'll dive in. Jerry's talking about the phone call he had with Kirk and everything, and I think Cullinane has a very interesting takeaway from that. If you could play that, Justin.
In that atmosphere, I mean, it was 100 degrees, but he didn't mind. He said it was a blast. This was in the car on the way to the next show. It was about 5:30 Sunday afternoon. This was shortly after he had suicidal thoughts, and I was on the phone with him, and I'm telling you, he never sounded better. I called him yesterday because we were supposed to play golf on Sunday. First time in a long time, and it's strange. You think Kirk Minahan is a lunatic, and he is, and he has a quick hair-triggered temper. But on the golf course, he's the opposite. He's composed. He's a fun guy to play with. He's a really good player. We laugh. So I was looking forward to it, and he blows it off. He blows off the golf. And
what do you call the grip when it's like the reverse grip? When you're putting, if you're doing that, you take golf very seriously. You know what I mean? What's that grip?
What are you talking about?
when you hold the putter up.
Thank
like
you,
this.
Justin. That was all I wanted. What are you talking about? I miss Cullinane. Thank you. I leave it to Cullinane to get us a few laughs through all this. Cullinane really understanding the point that Jerry is driving home. What's the name of the grip that you use? Another emotional home run from Dave Cullinane. I missed the motherfucker. All right, open the phone lines, Justin. I guess that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm sure I'll get to more of my thoughts as the show goes on, and you guys bring up your points. You can also talk about whatever the fuck else you want. If you want to talk about Sacco or other shit going on in the world, feel free to call in with those questions as well. A hang-up, an immediate hang-up. As Justin would say, imagine a doorway. There's a bunch of people cramming through that door right now. Millions, if not billions, of people trying to cram through this door to get in to talk to me. So it's it's tough to get through that door. But we've opened it. All right. Go for Geary. Hello.
The boy.
What's up?
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
Oh, John Stewart. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, how much do you think Kirk would give you for that little monologue?
Oh, I'm sure he is cutting his wrists somewhere as we speak.
There's nothing he'd love here more than to hear you
pontificating,
being so profound on
mental
health, right?
That's certainly, John, that's why I do it, to drive him even further into the grip of insanity.
When you and Ted going to start practicing for the Wilbur?
It's a great question, John. I think Ted and I mean, you saw it. I think we should really start focusing on acting. I mean, comedy's fun. It's great to, tell a few yucks up there, have your knock jokes ready. But me and Ted are kind of thespians. And I think that really shined through on Sunday even more than Saturday. We're pretty amazing actors. And I think maybe we should start focusing on that. Would you agree?
I thought you were incredible. The only criticism I would make is I wouldn't reverse the clips on Saturday night. I would have shown the Rocky clip first and then made the Sound of Music the encore.
How would you? Did you see all four yet, John? Did you see the two from Sunday?
No, I'm looking forward to seeing them though.
Okay, all right. I won't spoil it for you then. But I have a certain ranking
system. It was a very different crowd.
Oh, completely different. Sunday was much more laid back. Saturday, I mean, it was a Saturday night show versus a Sunday night show. It was people boozing and partying on Saturday night. Sunday, it was people relaxing, seeing a nice drive-through show.
Cool. I hope everybody, can up their game in terms of getting some nice content out to help fill in the gap and show podcast Jesus I love.
Certainly. Thank you, John.
Okay, have a great night.
All right, buddy. Thank you. The great Jon Stewart, who should start a YouTube show. This is the time for the John and John show, Featherston and Stewart. Hopefully that'll get started. Yeah, I'll do shit like this. I got this tonight. I got the. You guys are in for a treat. Got the Cheers podcast tomorrow night. Everybody knows we're lame. But I'm going to try and do a show every weekday plus Mike the Minifans. I've talked to MH. Well, I texted MHB, awaiting a response. Hopefully he can do some trash talks with me. But we'll see. We'll figure it out. And I know Carano and Steve have talked about doing something. There's going to be plenty of YouTube content. It won't be as good as when Kirk's around, but you'll have a little something. Hello, caller.
Hey, it's Chris visiting us from Rhode Island.
All right, I'll play along, even though I suspect some foul play here. But what's up, Chris?
I was just wondering if you thought it was a coincidence that Kirk is going through this right now, just after the launch of the Cheers podcast. I think there's a correlation there.
That's very interesting, Chris visiting Nurse from Rhode Island. That's it. You know what? Not enough people have made that point. A lot of people said because of my stand-up. But I got to tell you, I think everybody knows we're lame, and my stand-up, if I know Kirk, I think those are the kind of things that keep him going. If I did a good show, or if I did quality stand-up, thank you, sir. If I did quality stand-up or a good show, I think that would drive him even further into suicide. I think getting to mock me lifts him up a little bit. I think my stand-up, both Saturday and Sunday, really did a lot for his spirits. What say you, caller?
All aboard, Mike. Thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure.
If you could put a Quantum Week Chris number ranking on this, how much of Kirk's mental health issues are directly related to your show performance or lack thereof?
A lot of people asking that.
Like 90, 41, maybe?
No, I'd say 98. I'd put it at 98. No, it would be pretty pompous of me to think I have anything to do with it. Honestly, that if you want the real answer, I think that's what I figured. I think I'm such a fly on the windshield of his life that I really don't think he goes home and thinks about me. But I guess when you see a stand-up performance like that, or you see like the Cheers podcast, you probably do think like, what is the point of all of this? So that I'll bump that number up a little bit.
Right. All right. Thank you for taking my call, Mike. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, man. Yeah, there is a balance there where it's funny to mock me, but then it's also like, how much can you take? If I'm gonna be in this business and live in the same world that Mike Geary is in, what's the point? So I can imagine that's a struggle for him. But like I said, I don't think he goes home and thinks about me all too often. So that's for him. That's for him to analyze. Hello, sir or ma'am.
Hey, what's going on, Blind Mike?
What's up?
Not too much. This is Minister Mike, president of the Pay Mike Geary Foundation.
Oh my goodness! Thank you, Minister Mike.
Yeah, I'm still working on that 10%, that $5,000 for you. So I'll have it in the next couple of weeks.
I appreciate that. What? Why do you hang up? Did we hang up on him, Justin? What the hell happened? That's disappointing. Minister Mike, call back if you like. Anyone that wants to give me money, feel free to call in. It is. Oh, I do have to say, very funny. Thank you to all the people. I guess I said my Venmo on the show last week at some point. Thank you to all the people that sent me money. And honestly, a bigger thank you. It is very funny, the people that requested money from me on Venmo. I will admit, I laughed. I think I paid one person. So find my Venmo if you want to get in on that train. Hello?
Go for Gary.
Oh, is this Tim from Canton?
It is, sir. I have two quick questions, and then
Please.
I'll hang up and listen.
Please.
Who's going to play Malone before it was Ted Danson, and what was the position he was going to play in football? That's the show we're doing, right?
Tim.
Or did I have the wrong show?
Tim, what are you, a fucking idiot? Did you not listen at all to episode 1? You goddamn asshole. Get the wax out of your ears, pal.
I do have a serious question.
Go ahead.
So what do you and Steve, I know that you don't know a lot about what's happening right now, but what do you guys do in this hiatus? Are you creating content and going to put stuff on the YouTube channel? Will there be an RSS feed?
Yeah, the RSS feed I don't know anything about. I don't know the logistics of it. I know we don't want to touch the main show one. We may do similar to last time where maybe we put an update up there. I don't know. I think as far as the RSS feed goes, I think it's more wait and see what Kirk has in store down the road. But yeah, I was just saying that I'll be doing shit on YouTube most days. I know Carano told me that Steve and Carano have something planned to do next week. So yeah, well, it'll be similar to last time where we're just cranking out shows on YouTube. I've talked to MHB. I want to do shows with him. I'll do shit like this. I'll do the Cheers podcast, of course, Mike and the Minifans, all that stuff. And then, try to do as much other stuff as we can. It's just unfortunate that, you guys aren't going to get the real show. But
And are you in the middle of moving? I noticed that your background is somewhat
changing. Yes.
Studio.
Yeah. Well, my one of my roommates is moving out a little bit, like piecemeal, and then we move at the end of August. So we're closing up shop here in the Blind Mike Studios.
Interesting. So now we're going to have to stalk you to find your new abode. Okay.
Yeah, you'll find my new place in about 3 weeks. Don't worry.
Great job. See you, buddy.
Thank you, Tim. Tim, one of the great Minifans that was there Saturday night. Yeah, if you guys... Oh, the other thing I should mention. Good job, Alistair Black. If you have any segments from the last couple months that you would like to see up on the YouTube, DM Alistair Black, let him know, which is a good idea, something I've been trying to do for a while. And I think me and old Tommy see eye to eye on that one, so good job by him. Hello, caller.
You blabbermouth cunt!
Now that one I know.
What's this we're in here? The Navy? Now I missed the early bird special. Tell me what? So, it was Melvoin. The fuck is this, Mother May I? Go ahead, tell me. I give you my hand and you slap it away from me. Next time you come in heavy or you don't come at all.
Hey, Uncle June, I don't know if you see the guy on TV. Does he look familiar at all?
Yeah, say that again. I can't fucking hear you, Mike. Talk again. Yeah.
I said, does the gentleman on TV look familiar at all to you?
Bobby? You go to Rhode Island and whatever you do, you don't mention drugs. Coke, heroin, not even Tylenol. You understand?
DiMaggio.
Mike, I was being polite. It's like eating red fescue. I'll take an egg. You want an egg? Bobby, take my nephew an egg. See you later, Mike. Love you. Fuck off. Peace. Bye.
Thank you, Junior. It's so much more fun when now I'm going through The Sopranos. It's so much more fun to get the references. Uncle Junior, by the way, also in Saco. That was legend. It was fun to meet a lot of the accounts. I was starstruck by a lot of it. It was unbelievable to meet the Sopranos guy, Steve's a Liar guy, all the big stars were there. Were you in Saco, caller?
No, I didn't get to make it, Mike. I got kids. Sorry, but I got to ask you.
Yes.
You know, when you guys are on the show and Kirk's starting to unravel, and in hindsight you see that things were going wrong for him.
Yeah.
If you listen to the back shows, he said your stand-up show was coming like 4 or 5 times during the week. How did you not have anything ready to go Saturday night?
When did he say that?
Oh, like the whole time he's like, "You ready for your stand-up, Mike? We're gonna hit some stand-up, Mike, up in Saco." Like the shows leading up to it, he just threw in like.
Oh no, I think he did ask me. He did ask me something about the Wilbur show throughout the week. You are right about that. So I guess I should have read
yeah,
in.
He mentioned it.
I
you
should
had to know that was coming. So that's why Sunday was fine. You bombed Sunday, but you had a joke. Saturday you froze up. That was no good.
Well, hindsight being 20/20, but my foresight is no good either. So you are. Maybe I should have picked up on that, but I did not.
Notice. I mean, Kirk wasn't all the way there in the live show. Do you think it was just the energy in the room, or do you think that was evidence of what was coming?
Oh, I disagree. What do you mean you don't think he was all the way there?
Well, he just wasn't tethered. It just seemed like he was. I mean, I don't know if it was the energy in the place because he was doing a live show, or if it was him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't know. I would disagree with that. I mean, kind of like, well, it is.
Oh, don't
funny
get me
to-
wrong. The shows were great.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wish I was there, but
It's-
it just seemed like he wasn't in control the way he is.
Here's
You know,
what
a
I'll
normal show.
here's what I'll say to that. And it's not even your fault. I think it's a natural instinct to do. Kind of like what you're saying about like him warning me about the stand-up. It's a lot easier to go back and listen after you know that and say, ah, shit, here he sounds different, or here he sounds funny. In the moment, it did not feel like that.
Well,
at all.
like, no, but like, remember he hopped on you for making that suicide joke like over and over again. It kind of got uncomfortable listening to it in retrospect.
I think that was just because I think you're reading too much into that stuff. I think it was just because the joke. It wasn't a joke. It was a concept I thought of. Like again, I wasn't planning on doing stand up, so that was the most recent concept I thought of. I had no fucking punchline for it or anything. So literally, I just said a statement, a sad statement. So it was probably justified for him to shit on me for that. I would say.
All right. All right, Mike.
Don't sound so
Taking me a
disappointed.
call.
Buddy.
I got nothing left.
All right, buddy. Yeah, it is. Excuse me. It is natural for people to read into that stuff, but I think it's a lot easier to do with the advantage of hindsight. I don't think anyone noticed that the night of. Hello, caller.
Mike, this is your president, Donald J. Trump. How are you doing?
Oh my God! This is unprecedented in Go For Geary history. Hello, Mr. President.
Hello, little Mikey. It's a sad week.
It certainly
you know,
is.
Mike, I presided over some very sad things in my presidency, and this is the most sad. But
Really?
I wanted to call and offer my support and tell you, Kirky, we love you. I'm so sorry, and get well, and we'll keep listening, and we love you, Kirky.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now, I assume I don't know if you might have any theories as to what happened or criticisms of people.
Well, as you know, I'm a very stable genius. I've been thinking
That's
a lot
true.
about it. Mike, just to be clear, Kirk spent a year in a room with you, and he's been hospitalized twice. Do you think that's a coincidence?
Well, Mr. President, I think he has some well-documented mental health issues dating back to even before he met me, no?
No, but if you think about it, you had Murchison, and then you had WEI, and all of his problems went away except for one large bag filled with cottage cheese named Mike W. Geary. Not good, Mikey. Not good.
I don't know. I don't think that's fair, Mr. President. I don't know if I could possibly be the reason he was driven to these lengths.
Well, I have a working theory. I think he saw that video of you at Aquaboggin, and he said, "That's it." Can I ask you a question?
What's the point? Yes, please, Mr.
Aquaboggin
President.
German for fat and blind.
No, that would be a silly name for a business, Mr. President. You know, you're a business guy. That wouldn't make a lot of sense.
Good point, Mike. You should go to Trump University. You're very bright. It's just not the same without making Kirk laugh. Is it?
It's really, I imagine the enjoyment is far less, is it not, Mr. President?
Mikey, not so little Mikey. We got to start working on it. You need to start treating carbohydrates the way Steve treats Jews. Just stay away from them. Not good.
You got it, boss. I appreciate the insight, Mr. President.
But I have to go. I have very presidential things I have to get to. Many presidential things, various things, but I do have one little recommendation. We're going to
Please.
have a lull here, and we need some entertainment. And I was thinking you could do a new podcast. Okay.
Okay.
We want you to chronicle 2.5 Men. 2.5 Men. It's a very good show. And the best part about it is that's what you are. You're about 2.5 men. Talking about your size, Mike.
I understand. I got it loud and clear, Mr. President.
I think you understand me. But I just want to tell the Minute fans out there we love you. We've got a ton of support. And I hope that you don't get as much heat as the last person from Barstool who interviewed Donald J. Trump. But we love you, Mikey, and keep going forward. We love you, Kirky, and I hope you got a couple laughs because I was going to save that 2.5 Men joke until you came back, but I had to make fun of Mike this week. China, Wall, Big, Mike, you're back. Goodbye.
Thank you. Oh, my God. Thank you so much, Mr. President. I don't care for the fact that our great leader takes so many shots at me, but if it's for the enjoyment of Kirk Minahan, hopefully he heard that. 2.5 Men. It's simple. It's simple, but it's accurate and it's funny. And that's what was so great about it. Am I right, caller?
Yo,
What's up?
it's Minister Mike. Sorry.
Oh, what's going on?
Not much.
Talk to me.
So I just wanted to call in after watching Mike and the Minifans, listen to the live show. I know that like one of the big themes of the show and of your character on the show is just being this kind of like bumbling, whatever, and like failing at stuff. But
Sure.
I think, and especially given your intro where it seems like you really believe that, like I think that's just a character, and I think that what you've done on the show has, and I mean this in total honesty, what you've done on the show has been awesome. I know I look forward to hearing what you have to say on the show, and just in the name of mental health, I think that it's worth it to recognize that you've done really good work and that you're funny and a good member of the show.
Well, thank you, Minister Mike. It's very kind of you. I suspect a lot of people watching may disagree, but I do appreciate that. I mean, there are times where I'm, I guess, too hard on myself, and that leads to more insecurity and more bumbling and more failure. But yeah, it's a vicious cycle you deal with. But I appreciate you saying that.
Great. All right. I'll see you, Mike.
All right, man. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's my role, and there's a reason for it. I am a moron, and I am an easy target, I guess. But I think I take it well, which is part of it too. I don't know. No, enough of my bullshit. This is about Kirk, and whatever you would like to talk about, caller, go for Geary.
Shalom, Mike.
Adam, what's happening?
How you doing? You sound horrible through this connection.
I'm sorry. I wish I could do something about that, but what do you got?
It's okay. I just wanted to know, what did you text Kirk this time?
I did mean to mention that. I'm glad you asked, Adam. I said, again, ? Just get over it already. And I got no response. No, it was similar vibe. It was the same level of like, I understand you don't want to talk to me, as good luck, take care of yourself, hope all is well. I think it was slightly better worded. But you know what? I'll say if Kirk finds something funny about that, I'll say I know he would like a little treat, and that to come back and make fun of me immediately. So I'll save that for him. But I don't think it was too douchey. I don't think it was too douchey.
I can't understand you.
All right, Adam. Goodbye.
Bye.
I think that's his connection. I think maybe it's something to do with those people, you know? Although they would have premium connection, I would think. Let's see how this one goes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hi. This is Pat from the TJ Superstore in Peabody. Is this Mike
hello.
Geary?
It certainly is. What's going on, Pat?
We had a customer dropped off their golf driver here this past weekend. They left your name and phone number as the contact. Am I talking to the right person?
My name is Mike Geary, yes, but I can't imagine what this could be about.
Well, they dropped their driver off, and I tell you, there was a lot of dirt on it. There was some slime on the handle. I think it needs to be replaced. I think
Ridiculous.
we're looking at about probably a $549.90 replacement, a tailor-made Sin driver. Just wanted to know if you wanted to select the shaft options, or the
Outrageous.
grip, anything like that.
Let me tell you something, pal. There's video of my swings online, and if you can find a single flaw with my stroke, then I'll pay your tab. But I think you're going to be calling back and apologizing to me. You hear me?
All right, I guess we'll just go with the standard options here. Should we just send this to the studio address that they left?
Yeah, you just might as well do that.
Okay, we'll accept payment through Venmo, so you can just move that along.
Perfect. Thank you, Pat. I disagree with that guy. I think I had a hell of a stroke. And I think if I had someone, if I had a little coaching, if I could find my Chubbs Peterson to just point me at the hole, I think with a little practice, old Mikey's making the senior tour. Hello, caller.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
What's good?
I was just wondering now, since you got some stage time under you over the weekend, if you could give us a quick 5 minutes of stand-up.
It'd be great if I felt like I'm like, well, he asked for it. I have to now. No, as you could see, even when preparing for a day, I can't do 5 minutes of stand-up.
But you got your notes. You know, I know at Sacco you mentioned that you didn't have your notes. You could bust your notes out. You know, maybe we could workshop some stuff.
I could. You're no Kirk Minahan. You're not going to get me to crumble under the pressure here. Anything else, buddy?
Love you.
Love you too. Yes. I take it people did not think the stand-up went very well. But yeah, it was just fucking, not even so much having notes, just being on the spot like that. My memory was wiped clean. My knees were buckling. Oh, and I don't know why really, because even if I did bad, everyone expects it to be bad. So what's the difference? What's up, caller?
Hola, Mike. How are you?
Swell. How are you?
I'm well. This is Patrick from Ohio.
Hello, Patrick. A listener in Ohio? I can't believe
Hello.
it. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. This call thing's crazy, by the way. It's like 1 minute it tells you to fuck off. Next minute you're on the phone with Mike. It's wild.
Unbelievable. Technology. People coming together.
Unbelievable.
What's up, buddy?
Unbelievable. Somebody made a comment that your lovely lady Alba has massive feet.
That was
true.
that was
Was
one
somebody like fucking with you, or does she actually have huge feet?
It was not somebody that made that comment. It was a mentally deranged man named Kirk Minahan. He's a sick individual. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I don't know where that came from. I think Kirk really, and you can tell just by his like uncontrollable laughter, he likes saying things that he knows there's no reason for. Like just throw out an insult to Alba. That's not even really. It's not going to offend her, but it's just like, why are you insulting me like this? But it was.
I
Very
didn't know if he was like stereotyping or what that was, but it was fucking hilarious.
No, it's insane. She does not have size 22. She has regular men's size 13s. They're very attractive.
Okay.
All right.
She's
Anything else, buddy?
Size Mike, not a size Shaq. Okay.
Exactly.
Thanks for answering. Thanks for taking my call, Mike. Appreciate it.
All right, man.
See ya.
Have fun out in Ohio. Big Mina fan base out in Ohio. I'm noticing that. I don't know why that is. I saw Cam from Tri-State Running and his lovely wife at the event this week. People from all over. Really is unbelievable. The other thing, if you want to watch, I'll get to that in a minute. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mike, big fan over here. How are you?
Thank you. What's up?
No, I'm really not a big fan. You really fucking suck. But anyway, I'm actually calling about a different question. I'm curious, who manages the YouTube channel for the Kirk Minahan page?
Well, what do you mean? I mean, like me,
Well, I'm
Steve,
curious.
Justin.
You seem to want
Alex
to roll
Black.
out like a 3-minute video, but give us a 1.5-minute teaser before. I mean, I'm curious what.
Oh,
is
who cuts the
fucking
videos, you're
point?
saying?
Well, I'm asking you. I mean, it's you and your people, isn't it?
Yeah, why are you so confrontational?
I mean, I'm the big boy over there.
Why are you confrontational about this? I'm going to tell you, you dickbag.
Well, Mike, it hurts me. It hurts me emotionally when I have to waste 1 to 2 minutes of my time, right? Then to watch the same thing over again. I
So
mean,
you're
it's
saying
simple,
that,
right?
Yeah, you're saying the teasers are too long at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm saying get rid of the teasers. What's the point?
That's an Alistair
Probably
Black
teasing
stylistic
it, isn't
choice.
it?
I don't really have a huge issue with it, but I'm sorry it bothers you.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. Your apology really means a lot to me.
All right, man.
Good job, though. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye, Mike.
I was going to answer the guy's question. I don't know why he's so angry about it. I had no problem answering. Yes, Alistair Black, intern Tommy, handles the YouTube page, and I actually think he does a great job. I don't think the intros are too long. I think he does a very good job. But if you don't like him, don't fucking watch him. What can I tell you? Why are we not answering the phone here? More people coming through that doorway. What's up?
Hey, Mike, what's saucing? Quick question. Has anyone in Barstool reached out? I know last time when Kirk was out, you talked about doing something with KFC or Big Cat, just seeing if those guys are willing to help out, fill the content void. Love you, buddy.
Thank you, man. Good, very good question, because I meant to say that in the intro. Big thanks to Barstool for, being understanding of the situation, particularly from Kirk's end, but from me and Steve as well. Me and Steve still have jobs as of now. So I honestly, as much shit as I get and everything, I do appreciate that they're understanding with all that. I have not talked to anyone. I know Steve talked to Erica. Sorry, caller. Call back if you like. You didn't want to hear my rambling. I understand. Steve talked to Erica. I haven't talked to anyone in particular. I I haven't even really talked to Steve that much. I don't know why. He seems. I'm not sure if we're going to be planning something or what the deal is, but yeah, hopefully some people reach out and do some shit from Barstool. But if not, you got us, baby. Hello, caller.
What's up, Mike?
What's going on?
Question. So I was wondering, obviously Kirk's health is most important by a long stretch, but I was wondering if you, and maybe if you talk to Steve about this, have you guys gotten to the point where you're starting to get worried about your long-term future, especially you knowing that Barstool might not exactly welcome you back with open arms in a different role? Is that something that's becoming more realistic as these things tend to happen more and more?
I think it's funny you say that. I think, Steve might actually be have more reason for concern with that. And the only reason I say that is I kind of feel like I could lose my job any day. If I say something about Dave or I do something dumb, I'm very expendable, shall we say. So
yeah, do you
it's
think
something
that's
I'm
going to affect like show chemistry, like going forward? Like if Kirk comes back, like do you think everything's going to be a little bit more on edge, or do you think it could go back to normal like it did the last time?
No.
As
I
these
think
things continue to escalate,
No, I think that would go back to normal very quickly. This is not something anyone holds resentment over or anything. It's something you understand. That's what happens. And like I said, Barstool's been very cool. If down the road they decide to not be as cool, I understand. That's business. Whatever. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But no, as far as the show, whenever Kirk is ready, his health is more important than me and Steve doing the show every day.
Yeah, not even from a resentment standpoint, just from like, you guys come back and it maybe seems like any little thing that happens where you guys can maybe make a joke about it before, maybe you're taking a half step here, a half step there because you're thinking a little bit too much in the back of your head. Like the show was so good, it was rolling so well before this happened. Like it would just be a shame if anything like this like gets in the way of that in the future.
Yeah, I hear you. You know what? The good thing though is at least for the last year that I've worked with him, Kirk's never had an issue. I mean, fucking Saturday night, I said something about suicide, and he never took me aside and said, "Hey, don't say that, don't joke about that." So I don't see that ever being a problem, really.
Have you guys ever thought of like a system where you can have like maybe like a Big Cat or like a KFC come in as like a fill-in or like an alternate where you guys can maybe keep like the RSS feed going to a certain extent where, the listeners can get, even some semblance of the show? Because it's not like you and Steve, you guys are just as embedded. It's obviously Kirk's show, but you guys are just as embedded to the show as he is. Like, I feel like you guys could pull something like that off where you could keep some semblance of the show and not just have it, go dark the entire time Kirk's gone.
Yeah, I think the issue is not knowing a time frame. I think if Kirk said, "Hey, it's going to be 3 months. It's going to be in exactly 3 months. I'll be back," then maybe we could do something where once a week, me, Steve, and a rotating Kevin or whoever the fuck does a show. That might be a little bit easier. The problem is we don't have any idea how long it's going to be, and it's not the Kirk Minahan show without Kirk Minahan. We can do an hour or 2 hours of content.
Somebody who wants to be a host yourself.
Yeah. I mean, we can do a couple hours of content, but it's not going to be what the people want. It's not going to be what advertisers are paying for. It's just not the same,
Sure. Do you have any resentment about that as somebody who wants to be a host yourself?
Resentment about what?
That you're not trusted to keep the ship afloat while the host is gone.
No, because again, it's not Kirk. It's not KMS does not stand for Kirk, Mike, and Steve. It's the Kirk Minahan show, And I'll tell you this: Kirk has always said, "Hey, if you guys want to do a show on the RSS feed, I don't give a shit." The problem is more it affects download numbers, which affects advertising. So it's more of a business decision to not do it.
Sure, but you and Steve don't think you guys could get to the point. Listen, I listened to the intro to the best of on the Christmas week show. I know there's a lot to work on chemistry wise, but you guys don't feel like you guys could get to a point where you could have sort of your own thing going?
I mean, the simple answer is no. We would never do a show together as good as the three of us do. Having just me and Steve there is not anywhere near as good as having Kirk there. Me and Steve could do an hour and be fine talking to each other. But it's just that's not the same show,
Yeah,
We'll do
of
shit
course.
on YouTube.
I guess like when a Howard Stern takes off, he doesn't have Baba Booey on the show.
Right,
sort of thing. So
exactly.
I get that to a certain extent.
Exactly, yeah. And it's not like radio where we have to keep the fucking, keep the lights on, in the sense that if Mike Francesa's out, someone has to take that time slot. Luckily, it's not like that, so we have that luxury.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Appreciate it, man.
All right, man. I guess in the sense that someone has to keep the lights on as far as, advertising and making money. But I mean more, you don't have to do a podcast. There's no dead air if you're not doing a podcast. And you got plenty of time to go back to the archives now. Hopefully there'll be more stuff on that RSS feed. I don't know the logistics of all that. I wish I had a better answer for you guys. Hello?
Mike,
What's cracking?
can you hear me?
I can.
It's me, Elba. When are you going to be done with the show tonight?
Baby, listen, this is my job, baby. It's weird hours. And I don't really care for hanging out with you that much. So what do you want from me?
I'm locked out. Can you let me in the apartment?
No, shut the fuck up. Shut your mouth, you dumb, deep-voiced bitch. I don't know. Was that cry supposed to be a dig at Alba, or is that how she actually cries? I never realized that about her. She's very masculine, but I kind of like that. Like something you can grab onto. You know what I'm saying? She's a. Why am I doing this? Why do I give into that? Hello.
Hello.
You are on the air.
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Hey, I'm a Minifan from the South, so I don't get to get involved in much of the live stuff, but I've been following Kirk for a long time.
Okay.
And I don't even know what y'all are talking about because I've been trying to call this whole time. But I know you got visiting Chris, a visiting nurse from Rhode Island. But does Kirk actually have a Kirk Minahan show nurse?
No. You mean someone that takes care of him?
Well, I mean, like, for the show, for consults, and for maybe even things like this, things that are going on right now with Kirk, and you got Kirk's painter, you got Kirk's desk. You got Kirk's
so Kirk's
desk,
nurse.
but you don't have Kirk's nurse.
It's a good idea. Are you volunteering, or do you have someone in mind?
No, I'm volunteering.
All right. Well, you're in, buddy. I believe.
I'm actually an emergency room. I'm an emergency room nurse. So.
Oh, good. Well, I'm pretty sure with Kirk out, I think I get bumped up to acting manager. So I think hiring powers go to me. So I think you're in, baby.
I think so.
All right. Yeah, you're on board.
And I don't even know if he
nurse.
would let this phone. I don't even know if he would let this phone call get this far. But I know you would.
Of course he would. Yes, because I do boring things that make no sense.
And I know we said, I don't even know if, Chris, the visiting nurse from Rhode Island, is actually even a nurse. Or we don't even know what he does.
He's a very mysterious man. What is this? Well,
Do we agree?
Thank you, caller. We absolutely agree. Very strange guy.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
man,
I think just, I hate to see what's going on.
Thank you, buddy. Strange that Chris, the visiting nurse from Rhode Island, has this little fan base. Little cult of Chris heads starting to build. You're starting to see that. Guys are doing impressions of him. Guys are calling and asking about him. Very strange. I wonder what that's all about. That's what I meant to mention before, is Drop the Mic this Sunday. I know people don't typically anticipate that program, but I will say from time to time we break down bad stand-up. I hope that doesn't give away what we're doing, but maybe check out Drop the Mic this Sunday. You guys might enjoy it. Go for Geary. Oh, they hung up on me. God damn it. You notice it's a sad statement that the people that call this show don't want to listen for like 30 seconds. They can't stand the sound of my voice. Go for Geary.
Mike, I was just talking.
Huh?
This is Kirk's nurse.
Kirk's nurse, what do you want?
I got disconnected.
Do you have any final points?
I don't. I want to be Kirk's nurse.
You're in, buddy. You got the job. Hey, learn how to take yes for an answer.
All right. You cut out. I couldn't hear you. I was having trouble hearing.
It's because we hung up on you, you son of a bitch. Kirk's nurse, the star of this show. Great Donald Trump, thank you for calling in. Tim from Canton. A lot of Adam the Jew, Jon Stewart, Sopranos guy. A lot of stars coming out. And it seems like Justin, does it seem like that doorway is starting to get a little jam-packed? Is that what we're running into here? Hello, caller. You may be the last of the night if you're good. I suspect you will not be. We'll try one more here as we close up shop. Going for about an hour, right? Hello, caller.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
What's cracking?
Not much. This is a Woburn Country Club guy. How you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Not much. Hey, listen. Unfortunate news about Kirk. I thought you guys did a great job with Sacco. Congratulations. I know it's a lot to pull off. But I was waiting on putting in my Chris Curtis proposal for the 5K until after Sacco, so as not to distract you guys.
Right.
But that doesn't seem as appropriate now. I emailed you today. What do you guys think about changing it into a mental health awareness type event, whether it be a 5K or a golf tournament or whatever?
That could be that.
How you guys think about that?
That could be good. I'll talk to Steve about that. I also talked to Kevin from Bristol about possibly doing some sort of a comedy night or something, like a open mic night where people can donate money or something like that. Don't have all the kinks worked out, but the only problem with that is, like, I know the Minifans will come out to anything. That's been proven to me now. But do we want to do that kind of event without Kirk? Or would it be better to wait till he's back? I think that would be the real question. But yeah, we will definitely talk about stuff like that. I don't know if there's going to be something like last time we had the shirts that were available and all that type of shit. So things will hopefully be in the works.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but I have experience with the whole 501c3 type of stuff and the tax exemption. So I think we could do a good cause for it during this hiatus. And whatever the event may be, right? Not everybody golfs, not everybody runs.
Right.
Comedy is a good idea because everybody, I think, in this community loves to laugh. So whatever it is, Steve has my email. I'm just here to help, man. So
sounds good.
Keep up the good work, brother. Love you.
Thank you very much, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. Yeah, let's do one more caller. But yeah, that's been thrown around. I've seen. If you want to donate right away, go to I believe it's Blind Prison Mike. If you guys follow Blind Prison Mike on Twitter, he's been talking about an organization that's going to benefit mental illness, where you can sign up and register, or you can just donate whatever you're more comfortable with. But if you want to get right down to it, go check out what Blind Prison Mike has been tweeting out. But yeah, hopefully something will come up. What say you, caller? Could be the last of the night.
Hey, Mike, what's up?
What's going on?
I'm just thinking about Kirk putting on that performance on Saturday and Sunday night in that mental space.
Right.
Do you ever think of what he could accomplish if he was completely free of his illness?
You know, it's a double-edged sword, because you could also make the argument that he's so good at what he does because of that. You know, Jerry kind of made the point, and this is finally Jerry Callahan has been suggesting for months that me and Steve don't argue with Kirk enough. Not suggesting, he's just been saying this. Kirk needs someone to argue with. But Jerry actually kind of articulated the point a lot better today than I've heard him do before, where he says maybe that's, thank you, caller, maybe that's an outlet for him. Maybe that's a way of him getting out some frustrations, having someone there to argue with and really go at. I don't know the right answer to that, but it's tough. It's tough because part of what makes him so funny and so insightful is that awful sickness that he's stuck with. So it's tough to say if he'd be better without it, unfortunately. Hello.
Retro.
What the hell just happened? Not true, he said. Now, would his life be a lot happier? Possibly. But also you wonder, is the show good for him or bad for him? I have no idea. Is it a way of venting for 3 hours of the day and a distraction for him? Or is it something where he's constantly got to be at odds? He's constantly got to be entertaining people? You see something like this weekend, it seems fucking awesome to have these people showing you so much love, but is it pressure that gets to him? It doesn't seem to, but I have no idea. Go for Geary.
What's up, Mikey boy? It's PK.
What's going on?
Nothing, man. I'm in Martha's Vineyard right now. On
Congratulations.
vacation.
Sounds lovely.
Just wanted to say hi.
Hello.
I've never gotten through to this show before.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well,
I've
congratulations
tried,
on popping your cherry. Anything to say?
No, I just want to say good job this weekend. I didn't make it to Saco, but I listened to both, and yeah.
Well, thank you, PK.
Hopefully Kirk gets better.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much.
Love you, Mike. Bye.
Love you too. Electric as always. PK, a good sport. And I've started to think he tries to get on Mike and the Minifans all the time. I think it's a joke now. I think he's yanking my crank here. I think he knows that he's dreadfully boring. And he's trying to outduel me on who could be less entertaining. Hello, caller.
Mike, it's DEC. How are you?
What's up, buddy?
I'm going to be a little pissed if MHB does a show with you because he's avoiding me, but I think we know how that's going to end up going.
Well, I was always kind of the
Go
prettier girl at the ball, DEC. You know, I think he always had a glimmer in his eye for me.
You have more clout than I do. So
Maybe
I think
that's it, yeah.
been chasing, so to speak. Point two, I heard your opening monologue today, which was actually really, really good. Here is what I'm a little bothered by. When are you going to stop beating yourself up and saying, I'm not talented, I'm not smart, Kirk saved me from Entercom? When are you going to be able to proverbially look in the mirror and say, I got out of Entercom on my own accord.
Yeah.
I belong on the show. What I do has talent, and I add value to the program. Otherwise, I wouldn't be there.
Yeah, it's tough. It's something that I've talked a lot about in therapy over the last few months, and I don't know. I think I am getting better at that, but I'll admit part of it is a defense mechanism. It's like, well, if I say that, then if I do the opposite and say that I think I did a good job, then everyone can shit on me. But if I say I did a bad job, then what are they going to really say? That I'm the first one saying it. So you're right. It is a defense
Well, they're going to
mechanism.
shit on you no matter what.
That's a good point. And that's
Anytime
yeah,
you
you're
open
right.
your mouth, they're going to shit on you.
You are right.
What you
are
do
right.
for that one day I filled in, I studied like what you're doing, and it's like, holy crap. It's hard to keep up to him and know when to talk, when not to talk, what to say, what not to say. That in itself takes its own level of skill, and you do a pretty awesome job. So cut the crap, Mike.
This is the nicest thing you've ever said to me, DC. I don't know. I can't imagine this is really you. Is this John Dennis playing a recording of you or something?
No, it's really me. It's really
Thank you,
me.
buddy. Now stop.
With everything going on in the world, we got to be nicer to each other.
I appreciate that. And my girlfriend appreciates you posting pictures of her online as well.
I thought it was the Warthog's girlfriend.
Oh, good. So you were doxing someone else. That's good.
I thought it was someone else. Somebody else who deserved to be doxed.
No, you're a good man, DC. I appreciate all of that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome. Talk to you soon.
All right, goodbye. You figured after the first you're welcome, he would have hung up. But no, DC, a great man. But it was funny that during Mike and the Minifans, you're just zooming in on people, fucking saying, this is who this is. Oh, terrific. Thank you, DEC. What's up, caller? Probably should end with DEC.
Well,
This is a roll
hey
of the
there,
dice.
fellas. Boy,
Yes.
you really want a piece of us.
Finally, I took a gamble and it was right. Hello, my penis.
What up, buddy?
What's going on?
So, first of all, thank you, Kirk.
Very good.
I mean, he's helped people more than he knows.
Certainly.
Well, maybe he does know, but
I think I'm the best
the
example
show
of that.
really does mean a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And including myself, including the words he says. It helps. So.
But you're very
I've got a
sentimental
bit of
today,
a bone to
my
pick
penis.
with you. What?
You're very sentimental today. You're a lot more emotional than usual. You're usually a wham bam, thank you, ma'am, in and out kind of guy.
Well, give me a second. I've got a bit of a bone to pick with you, Mike.
There we go. Now we're back on track. What's up?
We had a whole weekend alone with Alva. You couldn't even at least get some palm? What the fuck, man?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? I've been dry for days.
Oh, you're crazy. You don't think I got enough?
What am I talking about?
You don't think I got enough poon up there in Maine? Come on. How could you not? If you don't think Alba was dripping wet at the idea of me just bringing down the house in Saco with my great stand-up performance, then you're out of your fucking mind. You're just lying, Blind Mike's penis. You're lying to the fine people here.
Mike, the only poon we got that weekend was whenever, well, like TJ Hubbard or Tim from Canton, all those guys. They're like, hey, Mike, how's it going? That got a little bit. So that's just got to arousal.
Well, sadly, you may be right, Blind Mike's penis, but we do all right for ourselves. We do all right for ourselves, no?
We do the best we can with what we got.
Hey, we do a lot better than we thought we would at age 13, did we not?
Damn straight. Oh my God, all those days you're looking at this dial-up porn. You can't even see it.
Right.
It's pixelated. You're already jacking it and it's still pixelated. I was trying to tell you, Mike, stop. The picture's not loaded yet. There you were.
Oh, he's a big imagination guy. But hey, we got there, didn't we not? It's been quite a journey, you and me, buddy.
It's been a wild ride and it's gonna get wilder.
All right, my friend. Anything you'd like to finish with?
That's it. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you, Blind Mike's penis. And I think that's a perfect spot to end up. We close strong with two men who love squirting their goo all over the place. DEC and Blind Mike's penis. Thank you to everyone who called. I hope I answered all your questions. If not, feel free to tweet at me or DM me, whatever, and we will address them on Mike and the Minifans Saturday. And like I said, I know you guys don't typically anticipate Drop the Mic, but I think this Sunday, you may enjoy it. We'll see. Until then, and tomorrow, everybody knows we're lame. May do another one of these on Friday. And just, if you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel already, make sure you are, because that's where a lot of the content's going to be for the foreseeable future, unfortunately. But we will talk to you soon. Goodbye.